Good morning and happy Wednesday. Man, this week is flying by. Welcome back to the Daily Grind. I'm your host, Chump Change. This is live recorded. For anybody that's new here, what we typically do is go over crypto news that I missed and you guys come along for the ride. So let's get into this and see who's in the chat, and then we'll dive into it. All Set Miner, what's up, buddy? I always call you All Set Miner. I know it's just All Set now. I apologize. Anthony, what's up, man? Good to see you. Dakota Miner, Will Wyman, good to see you. Good morning, Regilio. Let's see. Tim I Am Crypto, Andrew Masad, Chris Hanley, Steven Cicero, Overboard Tech. Good morning, sir. Good to see you guys. All right, let me see. Who else is here? Broski's, my man, Dan R. Good morning. Neomorphous, Rob Mines. Good morning. Good morning. Alvidus and Overboard Tech. Appreciate you, buddy. All right, so let's get into the market and see what we're looking like today. Started a little bit late, so we're going to fly through this. Bitcoin, 42,587 bucks in the red, but nonetheless, it is still holding very well at 42. Let's see. Ethereum, 2,300. Ethereum, I want to see what happens with this when the ETF comes. I know it was delayed, but I can't wait for some more news. I want to see what happens. I know a lot of people don't like it, but it ain't going nowhere. We have Dogecoin, almost 8 cents. Let's see. Matic, 80 cents. Nothing else really sticking out at me. Solana's back under 100 bucks. That's kind of terrible, but it's all right. Solana is going to be one of those coins. You know what? I watched a video yesterday. I forget who actually was talking about it, but they were talking about Solana probably flipping ETH, and I'm like, I don't know. You guys think it's going to happen? Let me know what you think about it in the chat. Do you think Solana will flip ETH? I mean, there is a lot of hype around Solana, so I think it's going to do quite well, but I don't know about flipping it. I guess we'll have to see. Let's see. Nothing really too crazy sticking out. 25 bucks almost. ETC. We have LTC still undervalued at $67. Yeah, I don't know. If you guys want to talk about anything specific, let me know in the chat. Just at me. All right, biggest earners of the week looks like Teo Bitensor right here. We have 449 bucks, up 53.5% as of now on the week. I guess it's 7 days. I assume that's how Crypto Bubbles does it. Every 7 days, just updates. Let's see. We have Conflux over here. Looks like this one's been popping off quite a bit. 23% on the week. HNT 25.1%. Sui, which is 26.8%. Ron, this is Ronin, $2.75 at 17.5%. Just check out the day just to make sure we didn't miss anything. Tia's down 8%. Celestia, if anybody's upset about that. Again, this is the top 100 coins. Manta's down 8.8%. You know what, man? I've been hearing a lot about Manta Network lately. We're gonna watch a video where Lark Davis actually gives 5 coins that you guys might not have heard of. I don't know if you did. I don't think I've heard of some of them, and I haven't watched the whole thing fully through, but typically I don't know, I think he mentions Manta in it if I'm not mistaken. So we're gonna see what that's all about, but let's move on. We have Fear and Greed index of 60. Doesn't look like it's too bad. Still neutral to me. It says it's greedy, but you guys know 75 is where I really care about it. Let's see. We have top 10 coins by coin market cap over on CoinGecko. Bitcoin, Ethereum, Tether, BNB, Solana, XRP, USDC, Lado Staked Ether, Cardano, and Avalanche. Dogecoin still in 11th place, and Avalanche is still well ahead of it, even though it took a little bit of a pullback. Dogecoin took a worse pullback, so not anything to worry about there. Looks like we have Litecoin back in 20th place, Bitcoin Cash in 23rd, ETC is in 25th place. Scrolling down, check out Kaspa. Kaspa's in 42nd, again at 10 cents. This one's been like their Rust protocol, I think, is still in the developing stages or the testing stages. So once that comes out, I think big things are gonna happen, but we'll see. Let me know if you guys have any news on Kaspa. Let's see, what are you guys saying in the chat? I had to look at BitTensor the other day. Nice. Let's see. Use nodes to do AI work. Bologna. Baloney. What are you saying, old Vortec? What are you saying in the chat? All right, let's get into this. Let's see. Mining segment of the day. You guys know I like to timestamp the most profitable miners on the market. The WinMiner K9 still top of the charts. 10.3 terahashes. $67.81 a day. Man, it's under 70. We haven't seen it under 70 yet. This is the first time we've seen it under 70. That's terrible. Bruh. We have the Ice River KS3 8 terahash unit, $51.14 per day. The Ice River KS3 M 6 terahash unit making $35.95 a day. We have the X16P. Actually, Mr. Max Voltage, I have to ship this out to you today or first thing tomorrow morning if you are here. So I don't know, I might be going live this afternoon. I might be opening this thing up. I haven't decided yet. It depends if I have time. But 5.8 gigahashes, 19 bucks a day mining ETC and ZIL, more or less. We have the Ice River KS2 2 terahash unit making hold on, I gotta fix my music because clearly that just shut off. All right, sorry, KS2 2 terahash unit making 1182 per day. The Superscaler K10, if you guys haven't seen, Lithium's Bitstream has been released on this one. 403 gigahashes at $9.93 a day. Not too bad. So I guess there is some rumors. If you guys didn't see Mr. Hawk Crypto in the Mining Kings stream last night, I guess there's some rumors of a lithium ASIC coming to market. I guess we'll have to see. I don't know if it's legit or not, but hey, nonetheless, what everyone's hearing, right? It's kind of the talk of the town. But the FPGAs, I think, are the first step. We have the Jazzminer X16Q 9050. You guys know I'm solo mining Octaspace on it. I might swap back over to ETC, but should be making 0.31 ETC and some ZIL per day. $6.49. Again, this is all at 10 cents kilowatt hour. My electric rate is way worse. You guys know that. F and Kaspa, them devs need to pay to get a listing on a top tier exchange. Oh yeah, someone in the chat. I totally agree. Yeah, they usually do like crowdfunding, right? If I'm not mistaken. If Solana flipped ETH, you would need to jump off the Tobin. That's messed up, man. That's messed up. Hell no. You know what's funny? Actually, well, it's not funny. It's actually awful. But I was working under the Tobin Bridge one day for a job that was like, it wasn't like under it, but it was like near it. And some dude, yeah, literally landed right outside the job site. I walked out and there was like cop cars everywhere. I'm like, what happened? And someone jumped. I'm like, oh my God. That is awful. Anyways, Jazzminer X4Q. We have ETC 1 gigahash units. Mine gets like 1.2. This is making $1.96 a day, 10 cents kilowatt hour. Let's see. We have the Ice River Kaspa KS0 Pro. You guys know I have 8 of these things actually next to me. 200 gigahashes, making $1.23 a day. They're still pretty decent. I mean, if I can get $1 a day, it's pretty good. Kaspa KS0 100 gigahash unit. This is the OG, 65 watts, making 58 cents a day. All right, nothing else really popping out at me. Unless you guys want to talk about something, let me know. If you guys are interested, terahashes.com, shout out to them. They open their ASIC site. Go check them out. Links in the description. Actually, it might not be, but I will add it after this because I totally forgot. Let's see, GPUs. See what the most profitable is. Look at back to a lithium. Check that out. Then we have CTXC, which is Cortex, on the top of the chart as well. Then we have let's see, Hyper and Lithium, dual mining, AIPGs there as well. Not too bad. It's nice to see a lithium back on the top of the charts. Let's see, what is a lithium's price at actually? Where am I going? Let's see. It's even down. Weird. You know what? It's probably because a lot of people, wasn't there some news with Carlson? Am I not mistaken? Was there news with Carlson, their algo change or something? I'm pretty sure there was some sort of news, so people might have just FOMO'd over there last night, because I think it was mentioned in their stream as well. If I'm not mistaken, Mr. Crypto Frank, appreciate you, buddy. Perfect. Thank you for that subscriber thing, by the way. The little the counter clock thing's awesome. So cool. Wish I could show it, but it's like, it's just behind me right now. I gotta set up my new office, then I'll show it off. But weird that lithium's down and it's still top of the charts for mining. The yield must be pretty good. But either way, I'm still mining it with all my stuff. All right, let's get into the news, guys. I want to see Mr. Tim Draper, why he's still bullish on Bitcoin. I want to know if you guys are. Let me know in the chat. I'll actually put a poll up in a second. Let's do it. Hit that like button. I hate asking, but YouTube makes me.
I'd like to start, if we can, first with prices, because, of course, back in 2018, you said within 4 years, so by 2022, Bitcoin would be at 250,000. That obviously didn't happen in terms of that dollar figure. Now you've said it'll happen in 2025. So we have, what, 12 plus months to go here. Do you still stand by that call?
Well, I don't know why anybody's still listening to me if I missed that one, but there was a moment in 2014 where Bitcoin was at about 180, and I said that it was going to be worth 10,000 in 3 years, and it hit it almost to the date. And so I thought I was magic. And so when I predicted 250,000, I clearly didn't get it right. Well, I didn't get it right in the 4-year time horizon that I gave it. A few things I didn't expect. I didn't expect the U.S. government to be so paranoid about it. And I expected the U.S. government to figure out how to tax in it and figure out how to allow people to do
I just
business.
realized I wasn't even full screen, but Crypto KJ just said, which side of the bed do you think he sleeps on?
With Bitcoin as their base currency. And it's happened in a number of other countries. And that's why Bitcoin's doing so well, is other countries are recognizing how valuable it is to them. I know that people don't trust the Argentinian peso. Now they might, but or the Nigerian naira at all. And so people like to do business in Bitcoin in those countries. And so I think I miscalculated on how aggressive how scared the U.S. government was running. And now they realize that Bitcoin's actually better for everyone. It keeps perfect records. It, the people who they all thought were criminals using Bitcoin, turns out they were all caught. So using dollars is probably better for a criminal.
Illicit activities.
And I think that there's going to be a moment where there's a run on the banks the way after the Civil War there was a run on Confederate money, and there was a run on the Greek drachma and a run on the French franc when they became a part of the euro. So I actually think that there will be a moment in time when I can buy my food, clothing, and shelter all in Bitcoin, and people won't want dollars anymore.
Facts. Shout out to Tim Draper. His eyebrows are pretty out there today. All right, let's get into this. Bitcoin ETFs are great, but not true crypto, which most of us here know, but I guess they'll elaborate on it in this Bloomberg interview. Guys, that like button, appreciate you for hanging out.
And Andy, you essentially say that if crypto adoption primarily happens through exchange traded funds or other centralized products, that essentially your argument is it's going to run counter to the whole thesis behind this technology, which is decentralization. But can this technology really reach its full potential if it isn't legitimized and validated in this way?
No, Kaylee, I think you're exactly right. It is important, and this is a big milestone for the industry. But for me, the thing to remember is that the Bitcoin ETFs are not actually true crypto. They are a financialization of the industry, and that's important for validation, important for people to come in. But it's not the same thing. It's a little bit like saying gold ETFs are here, so we no longer need gold jewelry or other use cases for gold. That's not true. They're two separate things. There's the financialization of the asset, and there's the assets themselves and what they can do. And I think the Bitcoin ETFs coming is great, especially the industry native ones like Bitwise and 21 Shares. I think those are awesome. But we have to keep building in the industry to use the technology in ways that are actually productive. So products like My Wallet Beam, that's a cross-border payments product, all of these things are really useful and can use the technology to provide real benefit to people. In the same way that jewelry is a useful product that people actually want to use, separate from the speculation and investment in it for just exposure to the price itself. And I think if the industry forgets that there are actual products to build and real consumers to serve and needs to fulfill, then we will have wasted all this technology just on a purely financial asset. And I think that's not the point.
Well, Andy, could you see a situation where there's almost a divide in the investor base of Bitcoin? Sure, you have sort of the retail, non-crypto native folk just investing in these ETFs, maybe viewing it similar to digital gold and putting it in that bucket of their portfolio. And then you have this other world that exists that is actually building and doing things with that technology that, like you mentioned, has been being developed for the past decade plus.
No, I think that's exactly right. My hope is that the ETFs will bring a ton of attention, a ton of new people, and the industry itself that's building the products for people can then use that as a funnel to get those people interested and make them then question, well, I invested in this because I'm interested in speculating on it, but what's actually behind this? What's the technology? Why is it useful? And I'm hoping that the industry building products based on this technology can then treat the ETFs as sort of a top of funnel lead generation, get these people interested in these actual products, and then drive adoption of the end products. And that's my hope. So I hope the Bitcoin ETFs can accomplish that. But my fear is that if the Bitcoin ETFs become the dominant and only way that people get exposure to this space, then all of a sudden we won't have people using these products anymore. And that's really scary to me, especially because if you go all the way back to the original genesis of Bitcoin, in the very first block of Bitcoin, Satoshi, the pseudonymous creator of Bitcoin, put this phrase, chancellor on the brink of the second bailout of banks. And what Satoshi was saying was, this technology can help save us from the challenges that come with these centralized financial institutions that we're bailing out these banks that are failing. Bitcoin could solve this by creating this new and independent thing. And that, to me, is the core promise of the technology. And I just really hope the industry does not forget this and let itself be totally dominated by large financial institutions instead of actual people and actual products that provide real benefit.
Yeah, it just takes away the actual decentralization of it. So I get that for sure. All right, let's get into this. AMD reports fourth quarter earnings after the bell. This is so they start talking about AMD and how I guess they're not really struggling, but the whole AI thing, they're kind of like behind Nvidia, right? So let's get into this.
You got to believe the pressure is on AMD. I know Josh talked about it already. He sold the stock the other day, of course, because the gain over the last 3 months was just extraordinary, up better than 80%. Christina Partsinevelos is following this story for us today and says, basically, don't look for AI to save the company this quarter. So what does that mean?
Well, that means not this quarter, but it still means that the stock climb high because of just outlook and guidance. You guys already talked about it. Expectations are high. You talked about the stock being up 26 year to date. It's more than doubled since October, but that bar actually might be just a little bit high heading into the print, just based off of just the reports I've read, the consensus. Firstly, why is that? Intel's weak Q1 guide serves as a barometer for AMD, since a large portion of AMD's business does consist of the same kind of business, traditional servers and personal computers. So that non-AI weakness in Q1, this current quarter, has some rethinking their estimates. For example, AMD's EPS estimates, earnings per share, have come down about over 12% since October 1st. And then secondly, as Raymond James actually points out this morning, AMD's new AI GPU chip, the MI300, more specifically the MI300X, is only just starting to ship, with AMD thus far announcing 3 major customers. That would be Microsoft, Meta, and Oracle. So that should drive...
That's a big deal for sure.
...momentum in the second half of this year, not necessarily the first half. AMD estimates that its AI chip will bring in roughly $2 billion in revenue in 2024, but many are actually expecting that number to double, or I should say, hoping that number will double this upcoming earnings, even if AMD's not an AI portion is weak right now. So that's where that whole thesis comes from, Scott. A bullish outlook for their AI GPU chip could offset any near-term weakness and help this stock out of earnings. But if we don't get that, then you may see a more negative or muted reaction in the stock.
We'll see.
Does anybody here actually invest into AMD stocks? Let me know in the chat. All right, AMD can give Nvidia a run for its money. Let's see what they got to say over here on Bloomberg.
I want to start with AMD because there's been so much talk about chips and who was going to benefit from the chip race. We already know NVIDIA is, at least for right now, the king of the hill. AMD, there are a lot of people felt that AMD could maybe close that gap with NVIDIA. I'm curious as to what you make of today's report and, more importantly, some of the forward guidance.
So some of you guys are saying yes and NVIDIA, and Chris Hanley said nope, NVIDIA. Gotcha.
They have the best shot to compete with NVIDIA of all the other people in the race. I think AMD really does have, with their new MI300 chip that they announced last quarter, the best shot to give NVIDIA a run for their money. The weak guidance for next quarter, I mean, we just had Intel give a relatively, I would say, weak outlook and some weak commentary just a week ago. So maybe this shouldn't be surprising. We're really not going to see a huge ramp, most importantly, in that MI300 AI accelerator chip in the next quarter or so. So I don't think that that commentary is necessarily bad for the AI story. What I think will make or break the stock kind of for the rest of after hours is how they talk about the ramp for that chip later in the year.
Well, that's what I'm curious about too. And it gets to a broader question, Doug, about whether investors still kind of have that same enthusiasm right now for AI the way they did a year ago when it really kind of came into the public zeitgeist.
I think they do. I mean, you look at a lot of these large cap tech stocks coming into the year. AMD, I think, was up almost 25% year to date just in the last month. NVIDIA was up even more than that last time I checked year to date. So I still think that people are getting on board with this AI theme. I think the question coming into this earnings, given the run that all these stocks have had, is will the earnings support some of the run? Will we get beats that maybe let people continue to just be unabatedly excited? And I think the answer with some of these quarters so far was, maybe it's time to pump the brakes a little bit, but I doubt that that's going to be the end of the AI excitement.
Yeah, AI is only beginning, but the MI300 chip sounds pretty exciting. All right, let's get into crypto world. CNBC television, Ether jumps 3% as cryptocurrency strives for a winning month. Let's see what they got to say over here. Guys, that like button, appreciate you all. Let's do it.
Today, German police seized
God.
more than $2 billion in Bitcoin
loud.
tied to an alleged online piracy scheme. Separately, here in the U.S., the DOJ and SEC announced charges in what they say is a $2 billion crypto scheme. And Renee Reinsberg of Cello discusses this morning's announcement that Circle will issue its stablecoin USDC on the Cello network. Welcome to CNBC's Crypto World. I'm Talia Kaplan. Major cryptocurrencies adding to recent gains this morning, with Bitcoin inching higher, trading right around $43,500. Perfect. Ether climbing more than 3% by noon Eastern, now trading at $2,369. And Solana also gaining more than 3% to $104.
We know Solana's down to under 100 now.
The recent rebound in crypto prices comes as the selling pressure for the Bitcoin ETFs, particularly Grayscale's fund, may be easing. Blockchain intelligence firm Arkham said on X that about $192 million had exited Grayscale's ETF today. Now, that number may seem like a lot, but Arkham says that's less than half of last week's average daily volume.
192 million is less than last week's average daily volume. That's crazy.
Okay, let's talk about the top stories. The DOJ and SEC slapped charges on a group of people for allegedly orchestrating a nearly $2 billion crypto fraud scheme. On Monday, the DOJ announced criminal charges against 2 people and a guilty plea from a third person for their roles in an alleged worldwide Ponzi scheme known as Hyperfund. Among those charged, the co-founder of
Hyperfund. Has anybody heard of that? I've never heard of that. Have you guys? Let me know in the chat.
Hyperfund, who is an Australian citizen living in Dubai, and 2 promoters, one from Miami and another from Maryland. According to the DOJ, Hyperfund's promotional materials made several false claims, including that investors who purchased memberships would get as much as 1% a day in passive rewards until the company doubled or tripled the investor's initial investment. Hyperfund claimed that its payments would be dispersed in part from its revenues from crypto mining operations, but according to the DOJ, those operations actually didn't exist.
Like, what? What? Between 0.5% and 1% daily in passive rewards until the company either doubled or tripled the investor's initial investment. I'm sorry. What? That's so weird.
In July 2021, Hyperfund started blocking investor withdrawals. In a related civil action, the SEC charged 2 of the 3 people for their roles in the alleged crypto pyramid scheme, which collapsed in 2022. Next, German police have seized billions in Bitcoin tied to a decade-old website which allegedly sold pirated works. On
pyramid scheme, says Broski's in the chat. Yeah, you're not wrong. That's crazy.
Tuesday, the Dresden General Prosecutor's Office said it had provisionally secured roughly 50,000 Bitcoin worth about $2.2 billion. Those funds came from a website ran by 2 men, one German and one Polish, that German prosecutors say raised money by...
Hold on, I'm gonna scroll back. I want to rehear that, because this is how the government gets their Bitcoin, by the way.
Seized billions in Bitcoin to investor withdrawals. In a related civil action, the SEC charged 2 of the 3 people for their roles in the alleged crypto pyramid scheme, which collapsed in 2022. Next, German police have seized billions
in police. Okay, so this is in German.
Bitcoin tied to a decade-old website.
Interesting.
Which allegedly sold pirated works.
But this is how the governments get their Bitcoin. They just seize it and they never give it back to you. They just put you in jail for like 6 months and call it good.
Tuesday, the Dresden General Prosecutor's Office said it had provisionally secured roughly 50,000 Bitcoin worth about $2.2 billion. Those funds came from a website ran by 2 men, one German and one Polish, that German prosecutors say raised money by selling pirated materials all the way back in 2013. Prosecutors claim the men then used the funds raised from the site to buy the Bitcoin. Now, the statement went on to say that the investigation is still ongoing and a final decision on what to do with the Bitcoin hasn't been made yet.
Yeah, so that's what they do with Silk Road. Same stuff, right? Like they more or less caught the guy. They threw him in jail. I think he's still in jail though. But like there was another guy that like found like a loophole inside Silk Road and took a whole bunch of money, like a whole bunch of Bitcoin, and they just confiscated it, put him in jail for 9 months and called it good. They just took like everything he owned. But yeah, and they kept his Bitcoin, obviously.
All right, for our main story this morning, the Cello Foundation announced that Circle's expanding native issuance of its stablecoin USDC to the Cello network. So I asked Renee Reinsberg, a co-founder of Cello, about the new partnership and how it can help boost the capabilities of tokenized real-world assets. He also weighs in on current events in crypto.
So you have a big announcement today, and we'll get to that in just a bit. but I want to start off with your insight on crypto. We have seen some major developments in the space since 2024 kicked off. In fact, 10 days into the new year, the SEC announced a landmark decision to allow for spot Bitcoin ETFs here in the US. What does that development signal to you, and what do you think it means for the crypto industry and crypto sentiment?
Yeah, I think 2024 is off to an amazing start. I couldn't have, maybe hoped for a better one. Sometimes it's a little difficult to connect the importance of something like the Bitcoin ETF to Celo or the broader Web3 markets. But the way I see it is it's a moment where institutions are really now coming into the space. And in many ways, the work that we do, while obviously we care a lot about real world use cases, there's a massive acceleration that can come from that. One example, just to illustrate that, would be microcredit or lending, which with institutions like BlackRock coming and bringing capital, right, that can really accelerate a lot of the local market solutions and projects that have been sort of the last 2-3 years iterating on their model and finding product market fit. So to me, this is a very bullish sign that we will have institutional capital coming into the space and really accelerating the use cases and a lot of the startups that have been quietly building in the bear market.
So last time we spoke, you weighed in on shifting crypto sentiment around the world, saying that in some ways it was improving. You noted that people are starting to look more closely at how crypto can yield real-world use cases. Well, today you have an announcement that the stablecoin issuer Circle is integrating with Celo with the goal of furthering adoption of digital assets and currencies. So how does this integration work exactly, and how does it allow for a new variety of use cases?
Yeah, look, I think it's massive validation of the work that the Celo community has done these last few years. And in many ways, it's also a stamp of approval, right, for the ecosystem. Circle with USDC is, really this, institutional grade stablecoin that is widely used, widely accepted. And, I think by kind of that coming to Celo, I think it can unlock a lot of the growth that I was starting to talk about. And there are a few features that make Celo unique, which I think will be particularly important to this launch, and that and I think the Circle team are particularly excited about. One of those is the ability to pay for gas in stablecoins on Celo, which is a really big deal. And it may seem like a small tweak, but it does enable a user experience where really, if I send someone stablecoin now, the recipient can receive that in an empty wallet, but is going to be able to use that wallet. They don't need Celo, they don't need ETH if this was on Ethereum, right, or another chain. They don't need a native asset to then do something with that stablecoin they just got, but they can use it and basically immediately join this digital economy. And I think that's really powerful when we're talking about how we onboard the next 100 million billion users. That's only going to happen if we remove, more of these hurdles that still exist when it comes to that real world adoption. So yeah, my talking points are, pretty similar to last time. It's those real world use cases. And I think even as maybe the interest in sort of the broader market and Bitcoin prices going up, what is happening, some of that general awareness is coming back. I do think this time is different because this time we have amazing wallets like, Opera MiniPay we talked about last time, or Valora or other mobile wallets that give people access to so much more than just the ability to buy or sell Bitcoin, but really start participating in this new digital economy. So I think 2024 is going to be a phenomenal year in many ways. I'm starting to see some of the things we talked about come true, and there's a lot of excitement for what is going to happen, particularly around stablecoins and stablecoin usage.
Now, expanding on that, the USDC expansion comes as Celo is trying to be an important part of tokenizing real-world assets, as you noted, placing traditional investments like bonds and credit on blockchains in a token form and using stablecoins for settlements. Obviously, it sounds like you're optimistic about stablecoins. So, what's your vision for these cryptocurrencies whose value is pegged to another currency or commodity? What's your outlook for 2024 in that regard?
Yeah, I think real world assets is sort of the mega trend. And in many ways, real world assets as sort of a buzzword may be new, but I think this has been a long time part of the Cello thesis. If we go back to just the general kind of framing around regenerative finance is only possible if we have real world assets, because we do want to, render nature assets productive in such an economy. And so in many ways, there's a bunch of projects from the very early Cello days that have been working on tokenizing real world assets, and maybe not using that term, but a lot of that, has been in the works for many years. So it's not sort of an overnight surprise that suddenly everybody's talking about real world assets. But I think when we look at real world assets, really stablecoins is sort of the clear early winner in terms of having product market fit, right? I think there's about 135 billion stable coins in circulation right now. I just saw some news that an investment was made in stable coins, right? So it's really becoming the norm for especially cross-border payments, or really any payment, right, to kind of go from traditional financial rails to stable coins, which are usable 24/7, and on Cello it's a tenth of a cent fee compared to what someone may pay for a wire transfer.
Well, that's good.
Okay, that's all for Crypto
That's
World.
cheaper, but I've never used the Cello network. I don't know if you guys have. Let me know in the chat. All right, I've been watching a little bit of this guy lately, Lark Davis. He's actually a very intelligent man. 5 cryptos he's buying in 2024. So I want to see which ones he talks about. I think he talks about Manta Network, but I haven't had a chance to watch this whole video. So let's get into it.
Here are the 5 crypto coins I have been buying and why. And while all of these coins are interesting, make sure to stick around for the last 2, as they have some pretty huge gem potential, in my opinion, of course. Number 1, Celestia. Yes, good old TIA.
Celestia, is anybody into this? Let me know in the chat. Put a 1 in the chat if you are, 2 if you're not.
The data availability layer. Now, this coin was an insane airdrop for a lot of people, and we are already seeing their data services getting big adoption across the cryptocurrency space. It's already popular. It's already being used. Newcomers like the man.
Listen, any coins he says here, by the way, just take it with a grain of salt. And if you are interested, look into it. Do not just FOMO into anything, okay? Do your own research, please.
To network, and their cost savings have been pretty big so far, and that word is spreading. The proof is in the pudding.
I just like to listen to these videos sometimes to kind of get like new coins on my radar that I might not have looked into yet or talked about or whatever. Sometimes it's good to listen to it, even though 90% of these videos you guys watch could be bullshit. So just pay attention. I really do value this guy's opinion a lot more than others, though. So let's just continue.
It's been massive too for other networks adopting the technology, but none of that actually really interests me. It's pretty cool, but yeah, no, it's not really important. I bought this for one simple reason: farming airdrops. You see, TIA stakers are already getting all kinds of airdrops. So I bought 100 TIA, and my thought is that any one of these airdrops could make the money back. So I bought the 100 TIA, took it over to my Kepler wallet, staked it, done. We'll get the airdrops, hopefully.
I'm really not into too many like airdrop things. It just, I don't know, they sketch me out. But today, actually, NerdBeast just reminded me in the chat. He said, "Good morning, everybody. Happy Jupiter airdrop day." Yeah, if you guys like, I think swapped anything inside like the Phantom wallet or the Helium wallet with the Jupiter network, you guys are eligible for the airdrop, if I'm not mistaken. That's how like I got the WEN token airdrop to me, but I just swapped it right out immediately. And then I disconnected my wallet. So I would recommend, if you're going to get any type of airdrop, please make sure you guys disconnect your wallets immediately after. I don't know if it's already compromised at that point. I have no idea. Just be careful with airdrops, please.
Risk reward potential feels pretty high. The 100 TIA is, of course, far from being an investment level play in my portfolio. It just exists, again, for the sole purpose of farming airdrops. So when will I sell this TIA? Well, when the airdrop train stops rolling, or when the market starts looking a bit toppy. No intention to ride this TIA bag down in the bear market. There's no reason to do that. The thesis for me is very, very clear. By the way, of course, since this is a video about the coins that I'm literally buying and putting in my portfolio, surprise, surprise, I own these coins, in case it wasn't obvious. Some of these coins have been acquired via private market deals, other via airdrops, others just some good old-fashioned exchange aping. Okay, so keep that in mind. You can see a full list of portfolio coins that I own, all of my venture investments across the cryptocurrency space down below in the description, as well as a risk statement because, hey, quick reminder, you can lose all your money.
Facts. And that's like the biggest thing you guys got to understand with all these coins. Like there's so many coins that are stupid speculative, and like there's a way bigger risk you're going to lose out than you're going to gain, right? So please just do your research. Don't put in more than you can afford to lose. And yeah,
it's crypto, man. Number 2, Manta Network. Now look, to be clear,
he does mention Manta. I knew I saw him talk about it, but I don't know enough about Manta. So let me know if you guys invest into Manta. Put a 1 in the chat if you are, 2 if you're not.
A nice sized airdrop from Manta. But I also decided to buy more because I think this has that shiny new thing, bullish potential. Ideally not going to be in this one for a long time, but just for a good time. Fingers crossed. We'll see how it goes, obviously. Now, Manta, in my mind, it's kind of tapping into all the right narratives right now, as well as being the shiny new thing. Ethereum layer 2 narratives, it's tapping into the native yield narrative, beating Blast to the market, using Celestia's data availability services, tapping into Polkadot narratives, backed by Binance. Thus, the cartel will likely pump this one at some point. So, when will I sell?
The cartel, he calls Binance the cartel. Real quick, Crypto KJ just put it in the chat. He put the Solana airdrop checker. So if you take your Solana address, put it into that checker, it'll tell you if you guys are eligible for any type of airdrops. It's like on the bottom of the like block you put it in. There's like a scroll over, and you guys can see like everything.
Looking to put in a few X's on this bad boy. 2 or 3X would be enough, to be honest. I don't need to hold it for the whole cycle.
You know what? That's a good point too. 2 or 3X versus going for the moon with some of these coins. If you guys are going to invest in them, like, listen, if you get like a little bit out of your money, right? Take your money off the table and just play with theirs. Like, it's probably the best way to do it.
Get a market cap on this one, similar to Optimism or Arbitrum. Then that's a 2 to 4X from here, which is fine by me. Take quick note as well. My team and I are covering these down below. Now, the next coin on the list is Prisma Finance, which is a stable coin.
Prisma Finance. You guys into this? Put a 1 in the chat if you are, 2 if you're not.
Protocol backed by staked Ethereum. Now, I actually did something.
It's a protocol backed by staked Ethereum.
A little bit crazy here with this one. So you see, I was a venture round investor, got it there. I farmed the airdrop. You guys hopefully farmed some of that with me. I sold all of my Curve Finance though recently and piled much of that money back into buying Prisma. The logic here being that Prisma is likely undervalued considering the very low market cap at the moment. All the other factors around the protocol, like the use case, the backers, all this sort of stuff. And obviously it's a bit of a gamble because the future of Prisma Finance is less certain than that of Curve Finance, which is one of the most important pieces of the decentralized finance architecture. But still, right now, I think it's interesting. I'm staking the coins, by the way, that I bought on Convex Finance, where I'm receiving crazy payouts. The APY right now is like through the roof. It's crazy. Now, when will I sell this? Late cycle. The price per Prisma will likely increase quite a bit between now and then. And I know mid-curve, you think, oh, but there's going to be a lot of inflation. The fully diluted value is crazy. I know. Doesn't matter. I'll stake these. I'll make bank until I sell later on. Now, the next 2 coins are low cap coins, have lower liquidity. Please be careful. Do not just ape blindly. Now, just because I'm taking risks with my money in my portfolio doesn't mean that you should. Okay. Facts. I'm talking about the stuff for
you guys should pay attention to that. At least he's like, that's kind of why I like value his opinion, because he actually at least says that to you guys. Like, please be careful. Don't do this just because I'm doing it.
Transparency to share things for you. And I'm prepared to lose literally 100% of the money that I invested on these coins. And when I do that, if that happens, if I lose 100% of my money, I'm not going to go crying around looking for someone to blame. Okay. I'm the one clicking the buy buttons.
AKA don't leave comments if you guys lose all your money, because he's not going to care.
Responsibility, my investments. Okay. Please remember that. Now, the first one is Legends of Illumia. This is a Solana based game. Now, to be clear, I kind of thought this game was dead.
Wait, what do you call, what's the name of it? Illumia?
Basically right at the start of the bear market. During the bear market, trading volume dried up to near zero. Posting from them slowed down on most socials, and basically let
me know if anybody's heard of this or own it. Put a 1 in the chat if you do.
Was ready to write this one off. I thought, well, it looked like a cool game, but I guess they just packed it up and left. But no, actually they're back. They're back with the bull market. Big backers behind this one. These guys built right through the bear market.
Oh, they built during the bear market. All right, never mind.
Plenty of money to do that.
I was gonna say somebody that disappeared during the bear market and then just all of a sudden comes back for the bull run. Like, yeah, that's a rug.
We have Animoca, Crypto.com, others behind these guys.
If they were
The game
doing
looks
shit,
really cool, and it's probably hitting the market in the next few months, which could cause a bit of hype and speculation. Now, generally, I'm pretty big into gaming. I think that gaming will fly hard during the bull run. The current market cap of Legends of Illumia seems pretty damn attractive considering everything that's kind of lining up for it right now. Big Solana narratives, big gaming narratives, mainnet coming. So when will I sell? Well, I'm not planning on holding this one for the whole cycle necessarily. I might sell into the gameplay launch hype if I see we get a good run with that. Maybe I'll sell it into gaming season hype more broadly, depending on when that happens. Current market cap was like $9 million at the time that I recorded this video. So look, seeing this at like $100 million market cap, it's not crazy, but I'm more looking at the market conditions versus being wedded to a market cap number. Okay. But to be clear, I will sell these coins. Okay. All these coins will get sold at some point. Very, very clear about that. Okay.
Do not have emotional attachment to your coins. You know, Bitcoin, a little different. Everything else, don't get emotionally attached.
Still, though, providing the $100 million just for a bit of reference. Okay. Final coin on the list is Krita. Now, this is also a gaming coin.
I've never heard of this either. Have you guys heard of this? One in the chat if you have, or if you hold it. Two if you don't.
Big things. They have an awesome looking game called Kingdom of Fire, but that's just the
wait, what? A crypto game that has good graphics? What?
Iceberg. You see, this is a gaming studio, and they're even working on a highly ambitious metaverse to challenge the big boys like Sandbox. Actually, multiverse, even crazier.
That could be a big deal. Actually, I'm gonna look into this one.
Again, very ambitious. The team, very talented, industry veterans, people working in the gaming sector for decades, including some very famous names out of East Asia, flying super under the radar at the moment, but possibly not for much longer, with lots of big partnerships currently being nailed down, with the metaverse beta coming soon. This one might start hitting your timelines more than you realize. So when will I sell this coin? Could be a unicorn, hopefully. Fingers crossed. Be a unicorn. That's $1 billion market cap, in case you're not aware. It's not off the table for this one, in my opinion. A lot depends, of course, on their ability to deliver and the general hype that this can catch in a gaming run. Again, they have ambitious goals. Can they hit those? If they get those, there's a lot of upside. I'll probably start taking profits, though, on this one in the multi-$100 million cap range, just to, be responsible. I'll share info, of course, on these.
At least take out what you put into it.
Coins later as they release news updates and stuff like that. This video is just to let you know what I have been buying recently, where my money is going.
Interesting. Shout out to Lark Davis. That's cool. I mean, like I said, I like to watch these just to kind of get an idea of like new coins that other people are looking into that I might have not seen. And again, guys, don't just, like he says, ape into it, right? Don't just FOMO, throw all your money in. You guys could lose a shit ton, and that's that. So just be careful. That's all I gotta say. All right, last but not least, Mr. Altcoin Daily over here. Let's see what they have to say with Mr. Mark Cuban. 2024 crypto portfolio revealed, like buying Solana at $1. I don't know what that means, but we're gonna find out. Let's do it.
I own Klima, I own Ape, I own some BLT, Blockdo, because it's wallets for Flow, Injective, Aletha, which is the integrating artificial intelligence to NFTs. So that's probably the other one. And I like.
Which cryptocurrencies does Mark Cuban still invest in? Which altcoins does Mark Cuban now hold? Mark Cuban has just revealed his updated cryptocurrency portfolio. Mark Cuban fully expects to make his next $1 billion investing in crypto.
I believe that, to be honest. Mark Cuban's a very brilliant guy. I mean, I'm sure everybody here knows who he is, but yeah, he's not stupid.
Mark invests in altcoins that he thinks will do really well. So I'm going to show you every crypto altcoin and company that Mark Cuban invests in this video. I was actually really surprised to see which altcoins Mark Cuban now holds. And for context, Mark Cuban has been into crypto for years at this point. Mark has been saying for a while now that investing in crypto will make millionaires, will make billionaires, just like investing in internet companies in the 90s made millionaires and billionaires.
Everything that we're saying now about cryptocurrencies and applications, we said the exact same thing about the internet stocks back in the 90s.
Mark Cuban made his first billion because of the internet boom, and today he says...
So he actually, I think, is the... Mark Cuban was like the first, like... I don't know if it was like, what is a podcaster maybe? I don't know if it was podcasting. I forget what it's called. Like something about sports though. He did like a sports like podcast type deal thing, and that's what made him blow up and get like super rich.
As people, maybe you can do the same thing
With the internet,
with
yeah.
crypto. So
Internet boom.
here he explains exactly how he invests in crypto.
Oh wait, it was the streaming platforms. I think he started the streaming platforms, if I'm not mistaken. Something along those lines.
That's exactly how he chooses which altcoins to buy.
Crypto has different types of utility. Bitcoin is like an alternative to gold. It's a store of value. Ethereum has a programming language on top of it called smart contracts that allow you to build all kinds of different applications. You have to look at investing at crypto the same way as you look at investing in anything. Do you think there's a value proposition there that consumers or businesses are going to use? If you think the answer is yes, and you think it provides enough growth, then you invest. If the answer is no, you don't. The challenge in crypto, like the early days of internet stocks, is separating the signal from the noise. Back in the 1995, when all the internet companies were going public with only a website, people got all excited and invested in things just because they were there. And you see some of that with crypto as well. But the reality is, then like now, if you find a crypto token or application that really provides value and utility, that's where you invest. And that's what I look for.
So he started off in just Bitcoin, and then it was Bitcoin and Ethereum. And then at a certain point, Mark Cuban had a robust altcoin portfolio. Now, since then, he's sold some altcoins, he's bought some others. It's really interesting to see which altcoins Mark Cuban now holds today. Like, if you had to suggest one crypto project for Mark Cuban to look into, what would you tell him to buy? And before I show you Mark Cuban's portfolio, I do want to give you a warning. Mark Cuban isn't some prophet or oracle. He wants to make a profit, but Mark can't predict the future, and he would tell you the same thing. Mark is a VC, and you need to...
And he also has plenty of money to waste, unlike most of us, right? So... just, again, grain of salt with what he does, but do your own research.
Understand what he understands. When he tells you which projects he's invested in, the law of probabilities, the nature of VC investing, says that some of these projects will not appreciate. Some projects he endorses will go to zero. And Mark's a true crypto OG, just like anybody, he's had his fair share of bad crypto investments. Whether it was Unicorn Gold back in 2018.
You are invested in an esports gambling site. It's very close to home. How do you feel about today's ruling?
I think Unicorn is going to benefit significantly. I don't think people realize that gambling is legal in 118 countries already, and Unicorn already has a foundation there. They already have the technology in place, and so now it's just about leveraging up, depending on what each individual state decides here in the United States.
Yusuf, he didn't lose control of the Mavericks. He sold the Mavericks for like a crazy profit. To actually, what he's doing is he's actually investing into some sort of gambling casino thing. That's why he pulled out of the Mavericks, as far as I know.
For that time, Mark Cuban got Mr. Wonderful into crypto. Here you see Mark Cuban teaching Mr. Wonderful about crypto. Mr. Wonderful used to be a skeptic.
And where's the long-term value?
Mr. Wonderful now thinks crypto is going to be like the fifth financial sector or whatever.
Just this idea that they're going to cut the number of units in half, that's such a scam. Like, that's just totally BS.
Let's talk about blockchain. To me, that is actually a non-proprietary utility.
Right.
Why would that in any way be a storage of value, blockchain?
Anybody can use it. Blockchain effectively is software.
Okay,
so it's a distributed database that's managed independently, and that inherent combination makes it a utility, makes it software effectively that has value and utility.
And then just months later after this conversation, Mr. Wonderful started parroting the same investor's thesis about crypto, which at face value is a good thesis.
I look at crypto not as coins or tokens. I look at it all as software. It's productivity software.
He's in shorts. Oh, that's how everybody streams, by the way. If I stand up, I don't even have pants on right now. That's it. Just like this. I'm just kidding. That's
the projects that are going to last and be here, a decade away from now are ones that actually solve problems. So
probably getting Mr. Wonderful into crypto was a net negative for the space, however.
In managing the decisions on which projects to invest in, because I'm very fortunate, my deal flow is insane. I see everything. And I have to disclose, I'm a paid spokesperson to FTX and a shareholder there.
Yeah, and how did that pan out?
Too, because we mentioned them, and big advocate for Sam because he has two parents that are compliance lawyers. if there's ever a place I could be that I'm not going to get in trouble, it's going to be at FTX. So,
and then is this Mark Cuban's biggest faux pas in crypto?
I would say that was a very bad look on him.
Crypto?
For sure.
That time he got all Mavs fans into Voyager?
We're going to try to come up with new ways to introduce Mavs fans to cryptocurrencies and understanding it. You know, there's a lot of hype, there's a lot of discussion, but most people don't really understand the fundamentals behind it. And we're really going to try to bring that level of education to our fans and to our joint customers. I'm trying here to tell you it's 100% risk-free, but it's as close to risk-free as you're going to get in the crypto universe. Create an account using the promotional code.
I feel like this is a scam. I don't want to, I don't know.
Code MAVS1.
Look,
don't
guys,
do that.
Nobody is perfect when it comes to crypto investing. I respect
Was
Mark
that like some sort of rug pull, that Voyager thing? I don't know. I was never involved with it.
Because he is public, he is open, and he is curious, and he just wants to find that
It was
true
a scam.
value.
Okay, I figured he, after the FTX thing with what's his face, Mr. Wonderful over there, Mark Cuban, was doing something with a scam as well.
So let's get to it.
Took me a minute, but I figured it out.
What does Mark Cuban actually hold? So a lot of people will mention things like HEX or ICP or Cardano or Dogecoin because I think that Mark Cuban has mentioned them publicly before and even played around with them.
Maybe the ICP likes to think that they're a lot different. In some ways they are.
Is anybody into ICP here? Internet Computer?
The chains know that there is not room for 100 different blockchains. There is not room for 20 different horizontal blockchains. Now, if you want to look at vertical applications that are specific to, you know, maybe ICP and others that have specific ways of doing things, that have applications that are better suited for those chains, okay. Dogecoin is a cryptocurrency that was created as a joke in 2013 by these two programmers, right? And they just made it just to mess around. And then probably 2 years ago, people started talking about the meme online, okay, and started buying it. And probably within the last 6 months, the number of people buying it has just skyrocketed into the millions, and the value has gone up incredibly.
If Charles Hoskinson was on Shark Tank, what advice would you give him for the Cardano project?
I'd say, where's your revenues? Just because it's crypto doesn't mean you don't need revenues.
You know, it's always exciting when somebody big like Mark Cuban mentions your coin, but he doesn't invest in HEX, he doesn't invest in ICP, he doesn't invest in Cardano or Dogecoin. The crypto companies that Mark Cuban invests in, are as follows. Lazy.com, this is his own NFT platform. Bequest, which is like will and estate planning services for crypto assets. Token Proof, which is token-gated solutions. Third Web makes it easy to build dApps. ETHPass, TokenScript, DAO HQ, this is a marketplace for DAOs. Inc., Fabrica, which is turning real estate into NFTs. Zen Ledger, Lucky Trader.
Real estate into NFTs.
Which is analytics, media company. Mintable, DeFi Alliance, OpenSea, the most popular NFT marketplace. Crypto Slam, this is an NFT aggregator. Super Rare, Zapper, Espresso, Defined. Now, important to note, Mark Cuban recently left Shark Tank, sold the Mavericks, and consolidated some of his investments. As far as I know, he's still invested in every project mentioned here, but, you know, we'll have to see what the future holds. As far as altcoins go, these are the altcoins that Mark Cuban invests in. Seems like there are two crypto projects Mark Cuban is really excited about, Injective Protocol and Polygon. Seems like he really likes these two projects. The only ones it seems he's really proud to endorse at the moment. Bitcoin and Ethereum too.
You know, how do you guys feel about Polygon actually? Is anybody invested into Polygon? Let me know in the chat.
Of course. And then in addition, I know that Mark Cuban is also invested in these low-cap crypto coins. KlimaDAO, BlockTAO, and Arbitrum. Arbitrum is the only blue chip out of these three.
I was gonna say Arbitrum's actually, I don't know. I know a few people that are into it. I'm not personally, but.
So Mark Cuban doesn't hold a million altcoins, but he has some quality ones. What do you think of his portfolio? What altcoins do you think Mark Cuban will buy next? Make sure you subscribe for more videos.
I'm just confused with this whole underwear polka dot thing right there. Anyways, all right, let's recap some stuff before we get out of here. Let's see what we're looking like. Bitcoin 20. Yeah, right. 42,666 bucks. Ethereum 2,300. All right, let's see. You know what other gaming token that I was thinking of when that guy Lark was going. So GFAL, this one right here, I've been looking into a little bit. I got to do some more research into it, but the guys from EA Sports, the founders of EA Sports, are actually the developers in this right here, GFAL, this games for a living token. So I don't know, this might have some good upwards potential if they could do anything along the lines of what they did with EA Sports or whatever. Let's see, Mr. Joker Miner, dang, back to the days I make it for a stream. Good morning, sir. Good morning, sir. Let's see. If you guys have any questions, feel free to ask me in the chat. What do you guys think about this? Anybody hold this? Let me know. Yeah, Polygon is I don't know. It's one of those coins. I had some and I sold out, but I don't it was a while ago, probably a year or two ago, actually. Let's see, how's this chart looking? I mean, the lows are getting higher, you know, as it goes. So who knows? I guess we'll have to see. What happens. But I guess they're like one of the only coins that are actually going in front of the SEC asking for guidelines prior to them doing anything. So, I mean, Polygon could be doing fairly well, or could do fairly well. Let's see. I have 1,000 GFAL. Per your advice, don't ever invest because of anybody online. Just saying, Joker Miner. I'm just a guy on the internet. I have no idea what I'm talking about. Neither does anybody else when it comes to crypto, to be honest. Nobody knows anything with crypto. I mean, you might know a little, but you don't know if it's going to go up or down. So don't put more in than you can afford to lose. Let's see what Hivemapper is doing, actually. How's Honey doing? I got to go hive mapping today, actually. Let's see. Honey, I got to put a video together as well with my earnings this week from 4 days of driving and my mileage. Let's see. We're 18 cents as of right now. Looks like we're having a little bit of a pullback, but we did have a spike. It is listed on Coinbase. If you guys don't know what Hivemapper is, go check it out. I do have a full video on the unit, but it spiked up to 32 cents here on CoinGecko. But on actual exchange, like the trading view Wix, we saw it go up to like 50 cents real quick. It was crazy. Miss Pocket Change, good morning. Let's see. Crypto Financial Advice Club. No, absolutely not. It's closed to the holidays. Yes, it's always closed. It's closed forever. Dan R. Let's see. Pocket Change would agree with me. Agree with me on what, Mr. Dan R? Agree with me on what? Trying to be a dick? I knew for sure that BTC would go up from 2,500 in 2017. Well, you can't say you knew for sure because nobody knows anything for sure, right? I mean, but the probability was high for sure. 100%. All right, what other coins you guys into? Let's see. ICP. This is one of the coins that I always debate on if I should get some or not, and I just haven't. I don't know why. I really don't know why, but it's been, I guess, let's see, what's the max actually? When did it come out? Oh, that's probably why. See, I don't get into any coins that look like this ever. I don't know why. I don't even care if they run up again. I will never I won't touch them. When they start up here, like if I don't know, this CoinGecko's charts suck for one, but two, if this is true and it started up here at $400, okay, or whatever it was. No, it started at 250 ish and it went to 400 and now it's just $11. Like, why would I ever get into something like that? Why would you? Like, the devs clearly just took your money 100%. Now it's like fighting for a heartbeat. Like, what? Why would you do that? Yeah, but like, even I don't even care about the technology. I don't care because they already took all the trust that I had out of it right here. When this shit didn't hold where they listed it at, that's when I lost all faith 100%. Let's see. ETC POW announced MEXC listing on March 1st. Nice. I don't know how it's going to do for it, but hopefully it does something good. It's only at 17 cents. It's pretty terrible. Pretty terrible, but I mean, it did go up to $2.40 or $2.61, it says. And yeah, I don't know. It's been kind of flat ever since. Just like kind of no confidence in the market chart. You know what I mean? That's what sucks, but I don't know. Greedy people taking funds, other put in. Yeah, so like that's why, like that's probably why I never got into ICP. But I don't like looking at charts like that. It's weird. Like if you start up that high and you just slam down to the bottom, like why? What's the point? I don't know. How do you trust that project after that? I don't get it. I don't get it. There's nothing really else. It's oh, actually Render's a good one. Actually, Render's been doing pretty good. Again, these charts suck, but it's pretty confident. Right, just continuously growing. I mean, obviously it's had a run up and pull back, but Render might be one of those ones that kind of fly off the chain. This is a Solana network coin, so yeah. Check out GME. What is GME? GME. This one? GMEE? Game? That you're talking about? Chris? Mr. Hanley, is this the one? It's the closest thing to GME. 1 cent, 1.5. See, it's another one. I don't know if this is the one he's talking about though. Like, I don't trust anything that starts up like that. I don't know why. Even though this one's like not to the scale of ICP, it's still happened, right? I don't know. 80% of the holders. I don't know. Chris Hanley, let me know if that's it. GME. I don't know if this is the one. I think that's it. I mean, actually, you know what? It could be this one. Dumb money. Dumb money, maybe. This one's freaking mooning right now. 59%. What's happening there? Yeah, but see, look at this. Same thing. I don't know. Real miners don't hold POS coins. Yes, you're correct. No, you're not, actually. Because now half the coins we mine are pieces of shit. Just saying. Just saying. All right, let's see. When 4070 super video. Whenever I have time, sir. Whenever I have time. I'm not in a rush. Let's see. Mr. Crypto Scotty, what's up? Honey started high and dipped. Let's see. Honey? Let's see. It did? 6 cents? That's not high, man. That's not high. I mean, you know what though? I'm gonna be honest with you. I sold out of my honey. I didn't hold any of it. After we got it, when it was up here, I sold out of it. Same thing. But then they got appreciation and clearly just started mooning after that. But yeah, I don't know. Each his own. You know, there's a spot. You can tell where the devs are like just in it for the money. Like, again, that ICP chart, like it was hundreds of dollars down to like cents. Like, that's crazy. That's crazy. Let's see. Overboard Tech, Nismo, we'll see at 10 Central if BBY has one. What is that? What does that even mean? Who's saying Overboard? No more late nights. Let's see. Bet I drop 4070 super video before Trump does. Good idea. You should. You should. You have like, yeah, but your videos are like 3 hours long. Who has time for that? Who has time for that besides you and your cat? Joker Miner said, don't make me drive out there. You will not drive out here. Please do it, actually. That'd be nice. I don't want to make that video. It's gonna take forever. All right, anyways, guys, I gotta get out of here. Back to daddy duty. Oh, Dynex, look, it's trending. Dynex is trending. And actually, I think Dynex has don't they have a listing coming up, if I'm not mistaken? BBY, let's see. BBY, what is it? I have no idea what it is. And it's clearly not, unless it's this one. Baby XRP. So what is this? Is this a new coin? No, not new. Old meme. Oh, it is new. Wait, what? Wait, what? This just came out today, or it just got on CoinGecko? Wait, no, this ain't right. It ain't right. 2023. Oh, no. It's a year ago. That was a year ago. Wow, that was like, I was like, wait, what? So confused. Okay. Okay, gotcha. Let's see. BBY is Best Buy. Oh, on like stocks and shit? Probably. I don't know. I'm not a stock guy. All right, guys. Anyways, love you all. Hopefully you guys have a great and happy Wednesday. I will catch you guys bright and early tomorrow morning. I will see you guys over on Miss Randy Hipper's stream. I'm going to redirect you guys right now because I forgot. And yeah, have a good one. I'll catch you guys bright and early tomorrow morning for the Daily Grind. Have a good one. Peace out.
You guys don't get to 100 likes. I'm going to show you my cleavage.
Eat shit, Gary.